Hello students, welcome back to the class. Good morning everybody. Okay, yesterday's class we have studied about the compositions and function of Jilla Parishad. Okay, so we have completed the class up to the composition and functioning of Jilla Parishad, in which we have discussed about the members of Jilla Parishad. Jilla Parishad is the highest level in the district level. Okay, in the yesterday classes we have discussed that is the highest level, and the members are mainly classified into three types. So one is called as yesterday's classes we have discussed composition. The first members were called as elected members, ex officio members, co-opted members. Elected members were also called as Jilla Parishad territorial constituency members. Okay, the members in Jilla Parishad is classified into three types. So one is called elected members, ex officio members, co-opted members. Elected members which are elected, they were called as Jilla Parishad territorial constituency member. Second thing, when we have discussed about ex officio members, these are nothing but the members of MLAs and MPs from Lok Sabha, MLAs and MPs from Rajya Sabha, MLC. We have discussed also. MLA means member of Legislative Assembly, MLC means member of Legislative Council. MP from Lok Sabha, MP from Rajya Sabha. These are the members of ex officio members of Jilla Parishad children. Co-opted members means the two co-opted members are appointed from the particular district. Okay, these two members are appointed mainly from the minority sections. So these are the compositions of Jilla Parishad. Now we are discussing forward, we are going forward, we will discuss about what are the powers and function of Jilla Parishad. Okay, we will go forward. Children, already we have discussed Jilla Parishad is the highest level in the Panchayat Raj institution. In terms of three-tier Panchayat Raj institution, which is the highest level, district level, then mandal level, then village level. Okay, in Telangana, what is there? Three-tier systems are implemented in Telangana also. Jilla Praja Parishad in district level, Mandal Praja Parishad in mandal level, Gram Panchayat in village level. Okay. Now in districts, when we are talking about Telangana, so total number of districts we have 32 districts. So total number of districts in Telangana we have, how many districts we have children? 32 districts are there out of Telangana. Now take an example, power and function. So when we are talking about the power and function, first important power, if you see, what is the power and function of Jilla Praja Parishad in district level? So here we are discussing what are the powers and functions of Jilla Praja Parishad in district level. First important function is to take care and coordinate. Okay, to take care and coordinate about whatever the various programs which are started in mandal. So Jilla Parishad will coordinate with the mandal level. So whatever the various programs which are implemented for mandal level, Jilla Parishad will coordinate with mandal level to implement this program and coordinate in various programs successfully. Coordination means bringing different elements harmonious. Whenever if you are cooperating and bringing friendly relations and cooperating, that is coordination, one type of coordination, bringing different elements in terms of harmonious, okay, friendly relations. So that is called as coordinating. So first important function of Jilla Parishad is what? So whatever the programs which are implemented for Mandal Parishad, in that program Jilla Parishad will play very important coordination and cooperation with mandal. So they will coordinate and they will cooperate with mandal. Next we will go forward. Jilla Parishad will evaluate and they will sanction some important budget, okay, for mandal Parishad. Who will sanction the budget is Jilla Parishad only will allocate the funds to the mandal Parishad. Okay, whatever the funds are there. So Jilla Parishad will sanction the budget to the mandal Parishad and mandal Parishad can utilize it for development of any infrastructure facilities or for any program, okay, development program or constructive program or administrative program or any schemes are there in mandal level. So every budget, who will allocate that budget? Jilla Parishad will allocate that budget to the mandal Parishad. So second point is that evaluating and sanctioning the budget to the mandal Parishad. Sanctioning the budget in the sense whatever the expenses which are required for the budget, okay, who will allocate? Jilla Parishad will prepare that budget and they will sanction to the mandal Parishad. That is one point. Third important function is transfer of allocating funds to the mandal Parishad and mandal. Children, whatever the funds, most of the funds which are getting from central government and state government funds will provide. Sometimes the central government will provide funds, sometimes the state government will provide fund. So when central and state government will provide fund, they will provide funds to the State Finance Commission. National Finance Commissions will be there. These National Finance Commissions will give income to the State Finance Commission from central to state, and these State Finance Commissions will give income to the district Zilla Praja Parishad, and the Zilla Praja Parishad will allocate that funds to the Mandal Parishad. So funds will not distribute directly. Okay, funds will not distribute directly. Okay, so funds will be distributed indirectly. First what will happen on the behalf of central government, National Finance Commission will allocate that fund to State Finance Commission. From State Finance Commission, that funds will be given to Zilla Praja Parishad, and this Zilla Praja Parishad will distribute and sanction that funds to the Mandal Parishad. Funds are very important for development of any roads or development of sanitation, or for primary health center, setting up in Mandal areas. For primary health center, schools will be there in Mandal level for setting up of any particular schools, or setting up of any infrastructure facilities like electricity. Okay, bus stops will be there, roads will be there. Okay, bridges will be there. Even at Mandal level, when construction and development activities, funds are important, but who will give that funds directly? From Mandal Parishad, the funds will be given by Zilla Praja Parishad. For Zilla Praja Parishad, the funds will be given by State Finance Commission, and for State Finance Commission, the funds will be given by National Finance Commission. So like that, the funds will be transferred. Okay, next I'll go forward. So the third point is saying that whatever the funds which are transferred, so Zilla Praja Parishad will transfer and they will allocate that funds to Mandal Parishad, and they will allocate that fund to Mandal level. Now next point is Zilla Praja Parishad will coordinate. Just now we have discussed what is the meaning of coordinating, bringing the different element harmonious, in the sense making the relations peaceful relations or friendly relation. Okay, cooperating in the form of peaceful and friendly relation, that is coordinating. Coordinating and cooperating meanings look same, but they are different. Coordinating is nothing but bringing different elements when we are bringing in the form of harmonious. So that is called as coordinating. So Zilla Parishad will coordinate and strengthening the plan of Mandal Parishad. So whatever the Mandal Parishad plans will be there, to strengthen the plan, Zilla Parishad plays very important role. So Zilla Parishad will strengthen the plans which are for Mandal Parishad. Now monitoring, observing, checking and progress. Checking progress, how much the progress has been done. So Mandal Parishad, whatever the work will be done, who will progress the work of Mandal Parishad is Zilla Praja Parishad. Under one control of Zilla Praja Parishad, there are many Mandal Parishads will be there. Now if you see that ZPP, when you are talking about one Zilla Praja Parishad, there are many Mandal Parishads will be there. So Zilla Parishad, what is the main role? To observe and to monitor, to check, to observe how much progress has been done regarding the work. So whenever, for example, the funds are allocated, for example, Zilla Praja Parishad has allocated some funds for construction of roads. That funds was given to Mandal Parishad. So they will observe, they will monitor whether the work is carried or not, whether the work have done or not. So that observations will be done by Zilla Praja Parishad. So here monitoring is nothing but observing, checking and progress. What is the work, how much the work has been progressed, checking the work and observing the work. Observing and checking the work and making how much the work has been progressed. So that is done by Zilla Praja Parishad will monitor the Mandal Praja Parishad, and they will monitor the Gram Panchayat also. Okay, monitoring. Why? Because ZPP is the highest level in district level, Zilla Praja Parishad is the highest level in Telangana. So Zilla Praja Parishad not only will monitor the Mandal, but also they will monitor the village Panchayat. They will see the work, how much the work has been updated. Okay, whether the work is any pending, whether the development activities is carrying out. Okay, whatever the funds or whatever the budget we have allocated, according to the budget, the work is done or not. So that everything will be monitored by Zilla Praja Parishad. Because in three-tier confederation, we know that in district level, under district level, there are many mandals will be there. Under mandals, many villages will be there. So ZPP will monitor the mandal as well as village. What they will monitor? They will monitor the work, they will observe the work, how much the work has been progressed, how much the work has been completed. Everything will be done by Zilla Praja Parishad. So Zilla Praja Parishad will monitor the work of Mandal Praja Parishad, and also they will monitor the work of Gram Panchayat. Now one more point, ZPP, Zilla Praja Parishad has a power. What is a power? So they have a power to allocate, so they have ZPTT has given some power, they have allocated some power to district boards. Children, in every district area apart from Zilla Praja Parishad there will be district boards also. Okay, there are many functions of district boards. Okay, sharing of water, okay, sharing the water, distribution of water, electricity, development activities, okay, etc. So we will discuss what are the other important work. So district boards will conduct meeting for once in 2 months. Every 2 months they will conduct the meeting regarding development activities. So the district boards will conduct the meeting. And ZPP, Zilla Praja Parishad has given allocated some power. What power they have allocated to the district board? So they have given some power to district board. They have an authority to collect tax, and they have an authority to collect some fees also. Who has an authority? District board. Who has given that power to the district board? Zilla Praja Parishad has given some power to the district board. So district board has given some power, so they have right to collect the tax and they have right to collect the fees also. Okay, that is one point. And also now next come to the point, what are the other important functions of Zilla Praja Parishad? So one we have studied, Zilla Praja Parishad has one more function, they has a they has given some power to the district board. So what type of power? They have given some power to the district board. That district board has an authority to levy, to impose any tax, okay, and they can able to collect some fees. Now suggestion, now come to the point, ZPT, Zilla Praja Parishad can suggest the government for development activities in district level. So Zilla Praja Parishad will suggest to the government about development activities in district level. Who will provide that suggestion? ZPP will provide that suggestion for the development activities. Next, Zilla Praja Parishad will prepare the reports. They will prepare the reports in the form of statistics. Okay, we already know what is meant by statistics. Statistics means collecting, analyzing information, whatever the collected information after analyzing and interpretation. Interpreting the information is called as statistics. First the information will be collected, then the information will be analyzed, then the information will be interpreted. Okay, that is statistics. So the ZPT will prepare a report in the form of statistics about the activities of local authorities. So what are the important work or what are the activities of local authorities, local self government? So ZPT, Zilla Praja Parishad will prepare a statistics in the form of report. Okay, so that is one point. And next come to the point, okay, so now take an example, here I have explained you district board. District board has some other authorities also. What are the authorities? First they have power to take the authority over secondary, voluntary, industrial, schools, park. These all things were under the control of district board. Okay, so these are the authorities. In these authorities they can take any decisions in the district level. What are the decisions? Schools. Normally the district boards will take the decisions in the school. Everybody knows that. Apart from schools, industrial schools will be there, parks will be there, secondary schools will be there, voluntary, okay, voluntary sections will be there. In all these points, district boards can take their decisions. So this is the point. So what we have discussed about the compositions and power of Zilla Parishad. So in this we have discussed that Zilla Parishad is one of the highest level in Panchayat Raj institution, and in Telangana we have 32 districts, so 32 Zilla Praja Parishads will be there. Now when you are talking about the composition, in composition the member of Zilla Praja Parishad is mainly classified into 3 types. The first one were called as elected members, second one ex officio members, third one co-opted members. Elected members, the members which are elected, they were called as Zilla Parishad territorial constituency member. So the members which are elected, they were called as Zilla Parishad territorial constituency members. Ex officio members are nothing but the members which are from MPs, MLAs, okay, MLAs and MPs from Lok Sabha or Legislative Assembly and Legislative Assembly. MLAs are mainly from Legislative Assembly. MLC we can find mainly from Legislative Council and MP from Rajya Sabha. These are the members of ex officio member of Zilla Parishad. Okay, and next one, co-opted members. I said co-opted members are mainly appointed from this particular constituency, two members are appointed, two minorities are appointed as co-opted members. So that is a composition. Now power and functions, when you have discussed what we have discussed, Zilla Praja Parishad has a power to take care and coordinate various activities of Mandal. So Zilla Praja Parishad will coordinate with whatever the various programs were implemented for the Mandal, they will coordinate and they will cooperate upon the various activities to develop the Mandal. Okay. Development of Mandal is also under the control of not only Mandal Parishad but also Zilla Parishad, and that's why Zilla Parishad have to coordinate with the Mandal Parishad. If Zilla Parishad will coordinate with Mandal Parishad, they plays very important role for development of various programs in Mandal level. If Mandal will develop, automatically the districts also will develop. So first point, what Zilla Parishad take care, they will take care of implementing the various programs and coordinating. Okay, they will take care of coordinate for the various programs for the Mandal level. Next we will go forward. So Zilla Praja Parishad will provide some sanctions. So whenever the budgets are prepared, budgets are going to sanction. So Zilla Praja Parishad will sanction the budget regarding Mandal Parishad. If funds have to be allocated and distributed, Zilla Praja Parishad will distribute and allocate funds to the Mandal Parishad and Mandal level. So whatever the funds they have to distribute, Zilla Praja Parishad will allocate that funds. Okay. So first we will learn here, most of the funds central government on the behalf of National Finance Commission will comes in the State Finance Commission. State Finance Commission will provide to the district level. Zilla Praja Parishad, they will distribute the funds. Zilla Praja Parishad, each and every district in Zilla Praja Parishad will distribute that funds to Mandal level for allocation of budget, for whatever the expenses which are there to overcome from that expenses, and for development activities. Zilla Praja Parishad will provide that funds to Mandal level. So first National Finance Commission will allocate that funds to State Finance Commission. State Finance Commission will allocate that funds to district level, and district level will give that funds to the Mandal level. So that is one point. So transferring of allocated funds. Okay, ZPP will transfer all the allocating funds from State Finance Commission. Whatever the funds will get, that funds they will distribute to the Mandal level, or if they will get funds from central level, they will distribute that funds to the Mandal level to develop. So Zilla Praja Parishad plays very important role for coordinating and strengthening the plans for Mandal. In order to strengthen the plan or to develop, Zilla Praja Parishad will coordinate with various activities. Zilla Praja monitoring, every time if you see that observing, checking progress, how much the ZPP will observe the Mandal level, they will check about the progress about development activities, how much the development activities has been conducted, they will observe. Okay, they will progress. Okay, progress they will checking progress and observing. So that is under the control of ZPP. So ZPP will check and observe, or they will monitor the situations of Mandal Praja Parishad and even Gram Sabha. Why? Because in district level, if you see, under the district level, this Mandal level and village level will be under the control of district level. So it's a responsibility of district level to monitor and observe the development activities. Okay, checking and observing the various progress of development activities in Mandal and village level is under the control of Zilla Praja Parishad. This is also one function. Zilla Praja Parishad has one more authority. So they can give some power to the district board. Okay, district board has an authority to collect the taxes. District board has an authority to collect some fees also. Apart from that, they have some other function. They can take the decisions regarding secondary, voluntary level, industrial schools. They have a right to set up the industrial schools like ITI and parks. So this is one point. Apart from that, if you see, ZPP can suggest the government of development of various activities. If Zilla Praja Parishad wanted to provide any suggestion to the state government, they can provide that suggestion to the state government. Okay, for development of any district, they can provide that suggestion. For example, this is the district level. So district level can provide suggestion to the state government to develop this particular district. Now report. At last, Zilla Praja Parishad will submit the reports in the form of statistics. First they will classify, analyze, interpret, and that report they will submit. These reports contain the information about the local authority, performance of the local authority, achievements of the local authority, development of local authority, etc. So these are the powers and functions of ZPP chitlins. In the next class, we will meet you with a new topic. Okay. So from this what happened, the sixth unit 6 is completed. So we are going the next class, we will start with a new lesson, unit 7. Thank you very much, students.